All right. So now we've come to the end of our journey with the Time of Madness, and we're on a rebel song, which wasn't on the album originally. It kind of got added at the end, and or rather, when Time of Magic became a Time of Madness, and I added this to the soundtrack. Today I'm in, what do you call this place? Grand Marais? Well, it's Grand Beach to me. And it's not the beach behind me, this is the marsh, but I didn't really want to be filming around people at the beach. That, I don't know, might be weird. This really isn't too far from the city, but for years I never came here, and I started only just a few, well, it seems just a few years ago. I haven't been here in a few years, but it was for most of my life. I never, ever came here, and but it's there's something about immersing yourself in water that's really, I don't know. It both calms the mind and sharpens the mind all at once. People often comment about getting great ideas in the shower or the tub or whatever. And the being at the beach is just like that times 100. It's a really amazing place to get. It's nice having one nearby that I can actually go to. But this is the big marsh. This is the reason why the beach is a clean place. All the crappy river water that pours through the city ends up getting filtered through miles and miles of this place behind me. And by the time it gets to the beach, it's nice, clean water that doesn't kill you, which is seems to be a bit of a rarity. So whenever I go poo in the toilet, this is what eats it up. And on that note, a rebel song. So one of the reasons why I thought I'd film here is it was actually here where we started filming the movie. The reason was we were still doing just, hey, let's head out for a weekend, make a movie, that sort of thing. And not really sure what we'd do with with what we did end up with. So we came here and filmed with the primitive cameras we had at the time. Me just splashing around and getting washed up on the shore. And we thought, hey, this would probably work for something. And at the time I had hoped to make it kind of me ending up on a desert island somewhere. But as I talked about earlier, the whole desert thing didn't really work out. And and I don't think I'm going to wander over where we filmed that, because there's an awful lot of bugs, and it was a nice day with a gentle breeze, so most of the bugs kept away from me. But now that it's becoming the sun's starting to go down, they're coming out, and I've already been nipped at a couple of times. And right there it was, I tried to film more stuff, but as I wandered into the dunes, you would end up with this massive halo of flies and insects just kind of covering you, and then they're buzzing around you, and then you can't get rid of them. They follow you wherever you go. So it's so if you come here, stay on the beach. Don't wander into the woods, because then once they discover you, they're onto you. And so a rebel song. The song itself was it was actually a part of another song called Pure, which is on Show Your Blood. And earlier in Pure's life, I sort of imagined it as the opening to my great rock album that I hope to make someday. And so what became a rebel song was actually kind of this, I don't know if it was 30 seconds or a minute, but it was kind of just the introduction to Pure. And So it was just, it was the same as the song starts now. It's just instead of going into verses, it was like, send out the wind, let it begin, a long way to go, and then Pierre, boom, and pow. That's how I imagined the beginning of it. But after a while, that little intro kind of got stretched out to a song of its own, and I kind of liked the idea of it, of kind of the all the work we do to kind of give ourselves I don't know, some kind of worth in life. So often we end up it's that very same work that takes our worth away, and in a way we find ourselves kind of almost giving up what is good about ourselves just on some kind of bizarre, insane voyage to prove that we are worthwhile, or our presence has meaning or something. And it was, I think that's the meditation of the song, just meditating on just really how much distance we or I can create between me and others, or just just how much damage can be made in the quest to be the exact opposite. And that's and that's the meditation of the song. And in that way, it was kind of a great metaphor for the whole endeavor of just always, because sometimes I really feel I spend too much time on it, doing things like this, things like the movie, things like the music, and I often comment that I'm really, if I don't have a project going, I kind of get anxious and just don't feel weird and don't really know what to do with myself, and I'm really not truly happy unless I'm working on something, which that might actually be that might be a problem. I think I've always looked at kind of the stuff I work on as I don't know, as something special, something that kind of gives me a sense of meaning, but it might actually be the opposite. It might actually be taken away from the essence of who I really am. And this looks like a really good place to get bit by a lot of bugs. Yeah, let's not go down this way. And so yeah, I really, I certainly like exploring that idea in the quest of committing the very sin it's commenting on. But, oh well. The song itself, recording it was an attic song, and it was a little unusual in that I had both Mike and Scott record a take of it. And I ended up using Mike's take of it for Scott did a very good, solid, competent run-through of it. But that was kind of the problem of it. It was a good, solid, competent run-through. It just didn't have any flair or pizzazz, or he just didn't throw anything into it like he normally does. Mike, when I asked Mike to record it, he just kind of complained through the whole thing. He did a couple of takes and he was like, I don't do slow songs. And he started kind of making fun of the song in his pattern. He just started going, boom, boom, I don't do slow songs. And that ended up being the take I used. His attempt to make fun of it turned out to be just the thing for it. So that was really cool. Where's this? Oh, this is the path. Yeah, this is a great place to get bit. Let's go down here. And into the darkness. Ooh, can you see the bugs? I don't know if they're visible, but oh yeah, they're everywhere. Well, I did put on a little bug spray, so let's see if I'm going to get bitten here. And wow, look at them just buzz around everywhere. Ooh, that's kind of neat. So this is actually the same place that I would have filmed me wandering into the woods. And well, in the new cut, it happens after I win the card game, and then I kind of get booted back into the thing. So that would have been right around here somewhere. And again, at the time, we weren't filming it with a script. We were just filming stuff and hoping to use it later, which is a terrible way to film any kind of movie. So, but again, we're still doing the whole, it's the weekend, let's make a video, and which is kind of nice. Sometimes I miss just going about things and not doing a point of things. But I sure wish I had the stabilizer back then. These things were not expensive. I think this is the very same area where the thought creature is kind of digitally imposed on and comes out. Would have looked a lot better if I had this gadget back then. Whoop, here I am. Well, I guess this brings us to an end of a time of madness. And yeah, it was a lot of fun making that thing, and I'm glad I did. I don't. What I liked about A Time of Madness was that was all the people involved in making it. Sometimes just working on songs can be a pretty lonely experience, and but when you're making movies, it's inescapable that you need to put together a small army to make it happen. And you know, when I think back upon these things that I make, it's not really the end product that I'm most interested in. It's really the people and things that help make it were more interesting. It's this just popped into my mind. For a brief while, well, a few years, but it was one of those casual on-call jobs. I did work as a stagehand for the local arena. And it's one of those jobs where when I first was inside the arena after hours, pouncing around on the floor, you know, going through all the backstage areas and stuff, it was like for the first 10 minutes, I was really excited. It was like, oh, wow, how neat. I'm in the arena. I'm in the same place as all the stars walk in. And oh, look, this is, isn't this fantastic? Isn't this amazing? And then, you know, 12 hours later, it's like, my feet hurt. Walking on cement sucks. I gotta shit. I want to go home. This sucks. But actually it was, I really enjoyed having that job. I really needed the money, and it just was kind of the perfect thing at the right time because I was able to make money, and yet because it was casual, I could still look for a you know, quote unquote real job. So that was it was a really important thing for me to have. Where I was going with this, though, one thing I noticed with in doing that is the stage. When the stage would get set up, now I was always fascinated by stages. I always thought of them as kind of the another member of the band by I always liked like the more bigger, the more elaborate the stage setup, the better. I like something like if you go back on YouTube and look up YouTube Zoo TV setup, or well, there's a few other examples of really elaborate stages, but I was always fascinated by stages. But one thing I noticed is once the stage is set up, but if there's no audience and if there's no one on the stage doing anything, the stage is really kind of it's kind of a corpse. It's really this dead, lifeless thing that serves no purpose and makes no sense, and it's really kind of a very sad and pathetic thing. And you see, this is what happens when you wander off the path. I'm glad these guys don't bite, but woo, they're everywhere. I wonder if they'll follow me now. Yeah, this is what I get for wandering off the beach. I wanted to get away from the, there were some other people and some noise there, so I wanted to keep this quiet, but oh man, I walked into a minefield. But yeah, the stage, the elaborate setups, all the trappings, all of that is useless without people. And it's all about, well, it's all about you, you know. It's everything that happens because of you and for you. And you are actually a lot more special than you think. And it's funny. It's wow, these suckers are everywhere. It's a very, it's a curiously sobering thought, because there's, I don't know, in this day and age of digital, everything press of a button away, I guess there's this real illusion that life is something to be captured and put in some kind of digital jar, or it's something you make, it's something you manipulate, and something you kind of push and pull into whatever you desire it to be, and it just so isn't. You know, once you take life and put it into a jar, you know, be that a stage, a song, a movie, it's lost whatever it is. The life in it is gone, and its only value is the life that chooses to interact with it. And even then, the value is the life. It's not the art. And yeah. And a time of madness. Oop. Is that, what the fuck is that? Get off me. Ah. Well, I'll have to take care of them later. Well, lots of big ideas. As I went through this, I realized this album is really depressing. So glad to be moving on to Show Your Blood, the big angry monster album. And well, so far Mike said that he's probably going to be coming down to talk about it. So let's hope that happens. And yeah, so next up, Show Your Blood. So hopefully we'll be having some fun with that. Thanks for dropping by. And yeah, if you go to the beach, stay on the beach. Don't wander into the woods. You'll get attacked by whatever the hell these things are. All right, have fun. You take care. Bye-bye.